On page 77 for our text, we find arpeggio bass explained and illustrated on page 78. We distinguish between arpeggios and broken chords. Broken chords are usually confined to an octave span. An arpeggio will exceed an octave, and to play them in the left hand, we start in a lower register where we want to avoid close intervals to begin with. We always start an arpeggio low on the keyboard with at least one or two open intervals. For example, the arpeggio for E flat would be this. The problem is this very rich sound with that G in the lower octave. So that we're going to play an open interval to start, and immediately it brightens up the sound. I have omitted the third and went to the fifth. Or I can even omit the octave and go to the third as a regular roll chord. So, in using arpeggio bass in hymn playing, we will play the right hand full octave chords. We're going to demonstrate this with music section page 15, Break Thou the Bread of Life. On every strong beat, we will start a new arpeggio at the bottom, or every change of chord will require that we start a new arpeggio. We can play them in eighth notes or in 16th notes. We'll start with eighth notes, just two to a beat. You notice that sometimes I use an open octave as the interval, as the open interval. In 16th notes, we would have to double back even more than we did. In the eighth notes, we doubled back sometimes at the top, not to move so far. Now in 16th notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. In 3/4 time, we will start each octave on the first beat of a measure or on a change of harmony. So we'll double back even more. Let's look at page 12 at the top, Holy Bible, Book Divine. We'll play it just in eighth notes at this time. Starting with an open interval. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. But in eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We might have a hesitation in there. 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. The doubling back might require more doubling back in the 3/4 time, especially in the 16th notes.